God not only wants good things, he's fighting for it. He's working hard for it. Just like a dad working hard on a beach setup, God is working hard for me and fighting for me. Welcome back to the What's Dill podcast. I'm your host, Pete Dill, and today we're talking about being on vacation, having a break from routines, but how God is always working behind the scenes for us. He's always working for us, and he's never taken a vacation from us. As always, I want to thank you all for checking in, watching, listening, however you are consuming this. Thank you all so much. So I just got back from family vacation. I had a lot of funny, a lot of funny classic moments that a dad has on vacation. But I was really struck by some of the metaphors. I was kind of thinking about some of these metaphors, and I opened up the Bible and made some connections on what a dad's experience of vacation is versus a kid's experience, and what God is doing for me in my life versus what I experience in him. Vacation's so funny, we're going to the beach, and I was really brought to this funny moment myself where, packing this wagon, putting in toys, chairs, beach things, dragging it along the street, bringing it through the sand, pushing it on the sand, setting up a canopy, putting all these chairs up, getting this whole great beach set up. It's taking an hour just to get from the door to having everything completely set up. Tours are out, getting everything ready, getting a cooler ready. You have all this huge setup, all this behind the scenes work. And then the kids are just great. They're there having fun, taking all the toys out, throwing everything, get everything sandy, and they just have a blast. And I was thinking about how I was putting in all this literal sweat, dripping in this Texas heat sweat to get this beach set up ready with the family. And, my kids, my other, family that was there, kids, they didn't know the cost that was going into, the setup of the beach setup. They're just like, yeah, this is great. And I was thinking about what God does for me every day behind the scenes, even when I don't really know the cost or really what's going on. So the book of John 5:17, Jesus says, "My Father is always at work to this very day, and I am working too." And I was kind of thinking about how, I was praying about it, wow, God's never not working for us. Vacation is this time, you go on family vacation, it's so easy to get out of routines. It's so easy to get out of faith routines. It's so easy to not pray. It's so, it can be challenging sometimes to find a mass to go to. Can be. It's so easy to follow these routines. Even to eating routines. All of a sudden you're eating ice cream at 10 in the morning. You're like, what am I doing? I eat ice cream at 9 at night. I'm eating ice cream at 10 in the morning. I'm off the rails right now. It's so easy to fall out of the faith routines. But God is never taking a vacation from us. Sometimes when we go on vacation, it's a little bit easy to take a vacation from God, but he's never taking a vacation from us. In my own life, I know there's been so many times at the transitions, at the checkpoints in my life where I want things from God. I'm asking for things from God. I want my life to go a certain way, and I'm praying for it, I'm praying for it, I'm asking for it. And it's not until either that thing happens or doesn't happen, or it goes terribly or it goes great, or kind of the aftermath of everything when I've become changed, that I've seen God working. It's hard for me sometimes in the moment to see God working in my life. It's not really till after things happen that I see, wow, actually God had a plan there. God, you were onto something there. And so what I've been really trying to work on in my life is seeing God work in my life right now, this day. Not just waiting till the results happen in my life, till I can have 2020 perspective, 2020 hindsight to say, oh God, I see you working in my life there 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But to do that as well as seeing God working in my life today, because like the book of John says, the gospel says, God is at work to this very day, and Jesus is always working. They're always working in my life. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this what I am like with God? God is doing all this work. Is God setting up a whole tent in my life? He's setting up a beach chair and food and coolers and drinks and toys and all these things that I need that are going to be great for me. And I'm kind of just standing there. And then finally, when it's all set up for me, I just take a toy. I'm like, oh, this is pretty sweet. I like this thing in my life. I'm like, oh, wow, thanks, God. This is a really great setup. I think I'm just like that. I'm like this, I don't really see God's work or know the cost or know what's happening. But God's always working in my life. Because I think for me, something that I struggle with is the giving over control to the things in my life to God. Like, I always feel like not only do I want to be in control, but that I am in control and that I have to fight my battles. And I have to be the one to make the setup. And I have to be the one to make good things happen in my life. And I have to be the one to create opportunities in my life. And it's as I've gotten older and hopefully more mature, but as I've gotten older, I've realized how much more childlike I have to be in my faith. Like, it's been a very weird thing for me. It's actually since I've had kids, I've kind of realized the older I get, the more childlike in faith I need to be. And my kids are such a great example of that. Like, my children just ask for food and they get food. They don't know the work I'm doing every day to provide for them. They don't need to know. All they need to worry about is just when they're hungry, they ask for food and they get food. I've said this before, my son comes down the stairs and he just puts his hand up. He just puts his hand up to me and I just grab it to help him down the stairs. He just knows I'll be there for him. He doesn't ask. He doesn't say, hey, Dad, can you help me downstairs? He just puts his hand up and I help him down the stairs. Kids at the beach, they're not saying, hey, do we have everything for food? Do we have everything for towels or for chairs? They leave that to adults. They just show up and it's taking care of them for them. They don't really know the cost that goes into having a whole beach set up. And so I think a really, really hard thing for me as like a Catholic Christian guy is having that childlike faith and expectant faith and childlike dependence on God. It's like the more I've accomplished in my life, the more I've done in my life, the more I've realized that I need to like depend on God like a child and understand He's doing work for the good of me, and that I don't have to create every single opportunity and every good thing in my life. Because the pride in my life, through my life pride tells me in my life that I've created every good thing in my life. Every good thing I've ever done, every accomplishment I've had, everything I've done is because I've worked for it, I've tried for it, I've created that opportunity. And I don't really give God the due credit for Him opening doors or putting things in front of me or giving me a heart, discernment, a soul to be able to walk through these doors. I just kind of take credit for myself and think about I'm the one that did this. So it's been really, really hard to give over control to God. And on a deeper level, something that I think I've had this like deeper realization about with God is my Father is like, not only is God providing for me, God is fighting for me. Like, God is fighting a spiritual battle for me. God is holding back certain opportunities that would be bad for me. God is holding back certain things that would harm me. God is keeping things and people out of my way. God is keeping me away from things and people that would be bad for me or for other people. Like, God is not only providing, God is fighting for me. And that's something that's been like a really big realization I've had, is that God not only wants good things, He's fighting for it. He's working hard for it. Just like a dad working hard on a beach setup, God is working hard for me and fighting for me. And it brings me to Exodus 14:14, where it says, the Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. And it's like, I don't know if I really look at my relationship like with God like that. Like, God is fighting for me and I just got to kind of be still and let Him do the fight. No, I think like I'm shoulder to shoulder with God, battling with Him. Sometimes I'm actually doing better. Hey, I'm picking up the pace here. I'm leading the pace here. I don't know if I really look at God as the one being the one that fight for me and I just have to be still. But as we've seen throughout the Bible, time and time and time and time again, God works through our weakness, works through our brokenness to bring about good in our lives and bring about His work in our life. So I was really laughing really hard on vacation because I was just like reminded of, my children just enjoying the heck out of vacation. It was so awesome and I would do it over and over again for it. But them not seeing me pushing a wagon, dripping in sweat, why did I wear a polo shirt to the beach? I'm such an idiot. It's 600 degrees. What am I doing? Like, they don't see that. They just see the fruit of our hard work. And I was like, wow, like I really need to kind of continue to look at God more and more with that childlike faith and dependence, that childlike belief that God is the one fighting for me. As I was kind of like thinking about this and praying about this, I think as I get older and grow into a man, it's sometimes hard to feel like, oh, I'm a child for God. It's more like I'm an adult friend for God. Like I'm really good friends with God as an adult. But in reality, we're children, and God's always going to be fighting for his children till they're old. And there's this book, there's this quote from Isaiah 46:4, Isaiah 46:4, where it says, even to your old age and gray hairs, I am here. I am he who will sustain you. I've made you and I will carry you. I will sustain you and I will rescue you. So it says, even at the old age of life, God is going to be there fighting for us. He cares about us. So it reminded me that I can continue to grow in childlike dependence in God. I can continue to grow into a child as I get older. It's this oxymoron. I will continue to grow into a little child before God as I continue to get older. So that, that was kind of the meditations I had from family vacation. It's so easy to go on vacation and, feel like maybe I'm taking a vacation for God and got to like work really hard to keep those routines of prayer in and going to mass. But on another deeper level, God is never taking a vacation from me. God is always fighting for me. Even no matter where I go, even across the world, God is still fighting for me day after day. He's never taking a vacation from us. So that was my thoughts from this past week. Quick episode. Wanted to talk about this metaphor that I kind of noticed at the beach and growing in childlike dependence. Being like a child, just expecting the beach setup to happen because God's always doing that for us. So hope you liked this episode. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Make sure you like, share, subscribe this with anyone who you think might like it. Love to hear from you guys. Make sure you reach out anytime. Let me know what you think about this episode. Let me know about growing in childlike dependency, how you do that. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys. So thank you all. Talk to y'all soon. Peace. Bye.